Hurricane Delta has made landfall as a Category 2 storm in southwest Louisiana in the United States. Winds are blowing around 100 miles per hour, with concerns over a potentially life-threatening storm surge. Delta is expected to produce heavy rainfall, leading to significant flash flooding on Saturday, hitting the same areas battered by Hurricane Laura in August. Tanya Dendrinos reports.
Rushing past the Texas coast, on its way to Louisiana. An eye-opener for some.
I get to see exactly what can happen, what a hurricane's like. And we're on the back end of this. We're not even in the major part.
In Louisiana, the storm has made landfall with conditions worsening. Residents are bracing themselves. Less than 2 months after the last devastating storm here made its own mark. In this New Orleans neighbourhood, flooding ahead of warnings, winds of up to 175 kilometres per hour and a life-threatening storm surge.
There's going to be a window of time where public safety cannot respond to you, though they may want to, and though it's in their DNA to respond. There's going to be a period where it's just not safe to get out on the roads.
New arrivals in San Diego as dog shelters are emptied in Louisiana to make space there for any new casualties of the storm. Oil facilities have already shut across the coast, but limiting the damage on shore is now the priority as the 10th named storm to make landfall in the US this year gears up. Tanya Dendrinos, BBC News.
Let's speak to Caitlin Roulette, who's in Panama City Beach, Florida, after evacuating from her home in Suffolk, Louisiana. Thanks very much for coming on the programme.
Hey, how are you?
Very well, thank you, and I'm pleased to see you're smiling and okay. Why have you decided to evacuate and leave your home?
Well, we had some holes in our ceiling from some water damage from Hurricane Laura, and we had lots and lots of debris at the curb that I was like, you know, there's a lot of things that I could do, but staying in this house for this storm is not one of them. So I took my 2 girls and we hit the road yesterday.
Well, I'm very pleased you did, and I think we've got some pictures. We can take a look at the area around you, and I think I'm right in saying that lots of the danger for people in and around not only where you are but across the state is from debris left around from the previous storm. Is that right?
Correct. And now I'm seeing, just from friends and acquaintances who stayed, there's a lot of flash flooding happening, water getting into homes. So I'm really glad that we left now.
Yeah, just to give us a feeling then, that, you know, this isn't the first time, obviously, that you've gone through this. You know the risks of living where you do. But does this feel different now we've had such an intense storm season?
You know, I grew up in coastal Louisiana. I've lived through Rita, Katrina, Hurricane Andrew, Laura. I've never experienced having to evacuate twice for basically direct hits on my home. So it's kind of surreal. I'm in good spirits because I figure it's going to be what it's going to be, and there's no sense in worrying about it. So, but it's definitely surreal and just like really nerve-wracking, just waiting to see if whatever we're going home to this time. And we just did Laura 6 weeks ago.
Just give us a sense of what are the risks of that. Obviously, you're safe, you're away now, but what are the kind of things that cause the damage and cause the risks back home?
Well, the biggest thing is so many people had roof issues. And so when you have roof issues, that just breeds so many other issues. Like we had, it rained inside of our house that became mold because it's so hot and humid. So that's some of the things. You know, when debris hits, if your windows aren't boarded up, you can have shattered windows, and then that's the risk of being hit with glass, and then just the risk of, you know, structural damage, because now you have a hole in a wall basically where a window should be. So it's just, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah,
and just lastly, before we let you go, do you have any idea when you'll be able to get home?
Well, I already told my husband. My husband stayed back. He's about 3 hours outside of Sulphur. He's at his parents' house in a little town called Thibodaux in southeast Louisiana. So he's going to head back on Sunday. We're out of power. I looked at the map. I told him I'm not running back to a house with no power. So I will go back whenever it's more comfortable to be there.
Well, I don't blame you at all. And we hope, of course, that's sooner rather than later. But thank you very much for speaking to us, Caitlin. Really appreciate it.
All right. You'll have a great night. Thank you.